the first hint of light in the sky was there. I got a take, and that started it. And it was a fish. It was 58, but within 10 minutes of me getting that in, taking a picture, letting it go, getting me rod sorted out. Before I could get my rod sorted out, one of my other rods was gone. I got that in, that weighed it, photographed it, all the rest of it, put it back. That was 64. That fish is now upper 80. And that's something that I'm glad I photographed the smaller ones when I did, the 50s, because you see them now.
Nostalgia,
You see, and you can't get away from it. No. That lake's a bizarre place. So I've now got 2 rods out of water, and I'm trying to get the first one sorted out. Before I got the first one sorted out, my third rod's gone. So I gets that in. That's a 66 and a half. It's now it's light enough now, So I've photographed, put it there. So I thought, at least that's it. I'm going to I'll get all the rods ready, not cast one after other. I'll get them all ready, and then when they're all ready, I'll cast them all back out. So I did. I got them all back out. Got sat down, made myself a cup of coffee. Got another take. I can't even remember which rod that was on. We got another take. I knew that this was a good fish. They got it in. Meanwhile, apart from me getting him out of bed, Steve outside of me, he's not had a single blip. But that's something that happened there, we noticed.
They get very localised.
Yeah, we found it happened a hell of a lot. That sometimes he'd be catching them left, right and centre. I'd have nothing.
Were you? I mean, if you were looking at your swims, I mean, was there anything different, to what you were fishing to? Or
yeah, because we were fishing a bit like that, So he was straight in front, and I was out on an angle because we were on the point, what they call circling point. So I mean, I got this fish in. As soon as I try to pick it up out of net, I can pick a 70 plus, straight up, rolled up, with a sling or net or whatever underneath it. This I couldn't, so I had to get it water, get my mat underneath it, and then break it over. And I recognised it. I recognised the fish. It was 80. It was 80, just under 88, 87. And
are they named or recognised, these fish?
Oh, I know them all. I mean,
but there's so many of them.
Yeah, but I know them. It was one that I'd seen Frank Smith catch a few years. Well, I seen a picture of Frank with it. I didn't see him catch it. I saw a picture of Frank with it, so I knew that was one of them. So he got Steve up. We did up pictures, put it back in, and I got the rod back out. But shortly after I'd sat back down, one of my other rods went. I thought, this is another good one, and I eventually got that one in. Weighed it, did all the other usual things. That was 70. I can't remember if it was 77 or 75. I think it was.
Can't remember. He's got so many of them.
And then I let that go. Got the rod back out. Stephen managed to get to sleep. We had a little bit of a lull for, I would say, 15, 20 minutes.
I mean, once you've put bait out there, you put enough bait out there just to hold a group of fish.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I get I get another run. By this time, it's only about 7, half past 7. 7:15. And it's this fish, and I think straight away I knew this is as big as the previous ones I've just caught. And I played, and when it rolled over its edge, I actually knew exactly which one it was, because I get it one I'd seen, in the picture thingy, and I thought this could be, a 90 pluser. It weren't. It was 87 and something. So did all photographs. But you can imagine by now. Who cares what happens?
It's just another 80 now, isn't it?
Yeah. Who cares what happens? It's like, it's an unreal experience. It's one that at the time. Well, I'll finish the story. It's hard to actually tell anybody because it just sounds unreal. But my mate Steve says, "Are you going to breakfast?" And I says, "Yeah, I probably will." Anyway, so I didn't bother putting the rod. I just back out, and because he's funny, he says, "Leap rod's out for me."
Did it, yeah.
But anyway, just before I decided to go to breakfast, I had another take and landed a 70. Yeah, I think that was a 75. The other was 77. Landed a 75. So, we did photos. So there's one rod left in. And I said to him, "Are you sure, Steve, you want me to leave it in?" He said, "Yeah, leave it in." And off I went to breakfast. And there was at least there was 2 other parties of English guys there. A Dutch party and I think there was only one Dutch. The rest of us were English. 2 guys behind us were German, and all of them had turned up for breakfast. Steve never did. He couldn't be bothered, and I mean sometimes I didn't. It would but it was just nice to sit down and have a nice cup of coffee, and the breakfasts were just what I liked. So we sat down, and I was in late, so because first thing they'd say to you, "How have you got on?" And that's what they'd say if they answer. How do you turn around and tell anybody what's just happened? For a start, I thought, I'll ask. I said, "Well, how have you got on?" Turn it round. So there was a few, you got a few of this, that, and other. I'm thinking, I'll have breakfast. Yeah. And anyway, cut the long story short, they all disappeared off at first, and then my mate Carlo, who's Dutch, says, "I see you with lots of big fish this morning." He talks like that, and I says, "Yeah, I did." "How big?" And so I says, "But it's easy if I write it down. I wrote it down." And it was just like.
Can you remember the numbers? No.
Yeah, well, I still can because I wrote it down.
Go on then.
It was 58, 64, 66, 86, 77, 87, 75. And if you want, they're all on there.
Oh, great. Okay. Yeah. Wow.
And when I'd finished telling, it didn't finish there. This trip, it got even better. When I got back, where we were, I walked out path. I could see that my last rod were out, so I knew he'd caught one while I'd gone. And he says, "It's in sling for you." I says, "It's not my fish." I was like, "It's who's landed it?" And anyway, he says, "Yeah, it's a good one." I says, "I couldn't care less." I says, "It's either yours or it's going back." Anyway, he says, "She opened the sling up." I took one look at it. He says, "You don't have to weigh that." He says, "Why?" He says, "Because I caught it on Thursday." And he says, "How do you know?" I says, "Flip it over. There'll be a little purple mark on that side."
God.
Can't you remember we sprayed it? Oh, aye.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... And that was the 68 I'd caught.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.